So that's Ubuntu number 1, and I am adding a second Ubuntu here for SSH server. I can rename this one as machine A, for example, and this one rename it as machine B, for example. Okay, A, power it on, and the same thing for B. Both of them power it on. So what we are doing here is just configuring Open SSH server. So you're installing Open SSH server on machine A, and machine B acts like a client. Then you're connecting through the SSH client to machine A. And that's going to be your SSH between machine A and B. So um, just log into machine A first, configure the machine A. Um, so here we are using terminal again. So one of the things that we are installing here is Open SSH. So app, or you can say app get install Open SSH-server. That will enable SSH server on your uh, Ubuntu, on your Debian. Once you enable SSH server, then the configuration, it is located under SSH dconf. Oh, actually, I should nano. Um, nano. So here, that's the basic configuration of SSH. You know that SSH by default is using port 22, but you can modify this port, which is under assignment as asking you to modify the port default port. In the past, we were modifying the port number because attackers by default know that uh, port 22, for example, is for SSH. So now I've changed the port 22 to port 2222. So then if you want to do a SSH to this server, you should do it under port 2222. So I will restart the SSH with systemctl restart SSHD. So now I will go to machine B. So here I will connect to machine A through SSH client. So now is this A is server, right? So the command that you're using for connecting to machine A is, what's that? Is SSH. So we are using, let me make it sudo dash SSH, then the username. My username here, if you look exit here, by default, I have a Debian as a username. So you put Debian here, Debian, @ and then the IP address of the server, IP address. So here the IP address is 192.168.199.134. 192.168.199.134. It's saying that port 22 is closed. Why? Because we are not using port 22. We are using port 2222, right? So look now, you get public key, and you're saying, okay, that's a fingerprint, and then it's asking, what is the password of this server? I'm saying, okay, it's Debian. So look now, this machine is connected to the machine A. Look, if I show you IP address, that's the machine A IP address. If you wanna exit from SSH connection, you just type here exit. Now I came back to machine B and look, IP address here is 136. So there is another way that you can create a SSH connection based on the certificate. That means that you don't need to enter password. So immediately after like typing this, you see that here I enter the password. So after entering this information, immediately you will be connected to the machine A. Let's create a key here on the machine B. SSH. So let me first clear my screen. SSH keygen dash T RSA. I'm creating RSA key. It's saying that, okay, I will save the keys under root SSH, under this path. Okay. Do you want to enter passphrase, password for this one? No. Just I hit enter. Enter the same passphrase? Yes. So it will generate a key for me under here. So cd root dot ssh. Look, here I have two keys. One of them is uh, um, public key. The other one is a private key. So then once you create the public key and the private key, then you can copy that to the server. SSH dash copy dash ID. Now username is Debian. The IP address is 192.168.199.134, which is this machine A IP address. And I put here dash P2222 because that's the port number that we are using here. Actually, it's saying that, okay, this is not accepted. I think I should put the dash P here before Debian. Dash P 2222. So it's saying that um, source key install, attempting to install, one key to be installed. The password is Debian. One key is added to this address. So that means that now my keys copied on this here. So that means that now I know I have the same key as the machine B. Once you have the same key, so connection between two client and server is going to be easier. Look now, if I connect to machine A through that key, so I exited. So SSH Debian @ 192.168.199.134 dash P. Okay, yes, that's a fingerprint. Debian. So now it is connected to the server. IP address. Yeah, that's the server address, right? So let's see that sudo IP address. Now I came back to 136. Sudo dash s. So SSH again, Debian @ 192.168.199.134. So I'm removing that here. Let me show you. Sudo dash s nano etc sshd conf. I'm removing this one and changing to default port 22 and restarting SSH. Now you don't need to put the dash p 2222. You can easily connect to the server. You see that? I didn't enter any password, right? I repeat it again. Look, I just connect to the server and then without asking password, I can connect to my server. So with key, actually, you don't need to enter the password. And that's the benefit of using key. Once you're using Amazon or cloud technology like Azure, usually they have pair of keys that you add a public key and private key, and easily you can connect to your server. And then we have Ansible. Ansible is kind of management system that you can deploy your configuration on the servers and devices. Let's say you have 100 Debian machines and you want to deploy a configuration to 100 Debian machines. So Ansible give you this ability to configure, for example, you have a piece of configuration and deploy it to 100 or maybe multiple machines simultaneously. Um, so here, I just show you how to configure the Ansible. So I am adding Ansible on machine B, this one. So apt-get update, and here I'm apt-get installing Ansible. So for Ansible, we need one configuration file um, and one inventory file. So configuration file, I make a folder and put the configuration file and the inventory in the same folder. So let's create a folder, for example, mkdir Ansible demo. That's my folder. So cd Ansible demo. Here I put the configuration and um, also inventory. Ansible CFG. That's a configuration of Ansible. So here, basically, what you're doing under here, this file, you specify what is your inventory file, where is located, and some features like the password to be asked or not, what is the user, remote user, some specific features are listed here. I just paste it to, where is that? I paste it here. So then look, this is an inventory file. Host is by default is false. Checking host. Remote user is a Debian because my username is Debian. And here we have privilege escalations. I like you want to be a root or sudoer or not, or so we copy this part, actually put it under here. If yeah, like that. Okay, so this is very important because you're saying, okay, here I put the inventory file, and that means that inside this folder. So I put the inventory file. Now you have this file, ansible.cfg. I put another file, which is your inventory, nano inventory. That's the file that you're creating for server IP address. So here you're defining your server. So here I'm saying, okay, server one, and server 1, Ansible host. So here you're defining the IP address of your server. So I have here 192.168.199.134. So I put it here 192.168.199.134. That means that if you have a multiple servers or multiple devices. Ansible, it is not only for Debian. You can deploy the configuration on Cisco devices or Juniper devices through the SSH. So you can here say, okay, this is the IP address of my first device. So you can list them here, and then based on the configuration that you have listed, it will deploy the configuration. So look, now I have the second file, inventory, right? So now if you do Ansible all dash m ping, um, so here is asking for public key and the password. Debian 192.168 permission denied for that one. Uh, Let me see that. Uh, I came back to this one, Ansible all dash m ping. Okay. Uh, where is my sudo dash s? Here is my Ansible cd Ansible demo. Okay, here. So basically, we should have here dash m ping. We should have a connectivity. Let me see that. It seems that we don't have a connectivity with this IP address. SSH Debian at some 192.168.199.134. Oh, it's asking for password in Debian. Debian. Okay. Uh, what caused the issue here? Hmm. So maybe we need to copy the keys that we had again. So SSH copy ID Debian at sign 192.168.199.134. Uh, doesn't have this one. Okay.
Professor, we are not in SSD folder.
SSD folder. Am I in which one I'm in? Let me see. IP address. IP address. I'm in 30. Oh, I'm in 34. Still, I'm in 34. So I'm in the server actually. Why I am in the server? Exit. Okay, now I close the connection. You know, that was confusing sometimes. I was in the machine A and I was trying to do, um, I think, oh no. So most of the things that I did, it was in machine A. Let me see that. ls. Yes, look, I created here. Okay, so I made a mistake. I didn't close my connection when I was installing Ansible. So here all of this, it created in machine A actually. But here I exited from the machine A. Now I'm in machine B. Okay. So I repeated those steps again, installing Ansible. I was surprised that why it's not working. Um, so this is So you should be careful once you're creating. Probably I should rename the machines. That's better. Once you're changing the host name, then it's better. Okay, so I create that folder again, Ansible demo, um, cd Ansible demo here. So I create nano ansible.cfg. I have here. Where is it? Copy, paste. Okay, and then nano inventory. So here I create server one, server one, stable host equal 192.168.199.134, like that. So now Ansible all dash m ping. Okay, you see that ping pong is responding. So basically from this machine A, I am pinging all my inventory, but I have only one inventory, which is machine A, right? And look, now I can get machine A um, a storage, like look dash A df dash H shows the hard disk information, right? So that's for machine A. Also, if I want to check the machine A uptime, I can say Ansible all dash A uptime. That that all means all inventory. So if I have two servers, shows two servers for me. And also Ansible inventory dash dash list dash y. Look, shows me that okay, I have only one server under uh, my inventory file. If you want to specifically mention that, okay, I want to check, for example, server one uptime, then instead of all, you can put here um, this name, Ansible server one uptime. Look, now it will return that server one uptime. Okay, so this way you can send the configuration, you can check it, deploy it. This way we call it as Ansible. So in a part of this video, probably I made a mistake, but uh, that's about Ansible.